Yes, yes. Good morning, viewers, listeners on ONN and the Nightingale Radio International, broadcasting live from Houston, Texas, United States of America. My name is Smart Mado Ajaja. How are you all doing this morning? It's 2:09 a.m. Central Standard Time, Houston, Texas, United States of America. I hope you guys had a great weekend, just as I did. And I wish all men, responsible men, extended happy Father's Day. And I hope going forward, some of us who are lagging behind one way or the other will be able to make up for it, to be this great father, greater father than we have ever been. Is a huge thing of joy to be a father. Yes, without taking a lot of time, we got work to do. And that job has to be done because that is why we exist. You know, what we are talking about today is Nigeria, the state of Nigeria. And because of the way things are moving so fast in that country, the country is on the a violent march to a total collapse, and so need intervention by all Nigerians and Africans. Yes, because if Nigeria collapses, it will be disaster for Africans because of the strategic position of Nigeria and because of the population in Nigeria. If anything goes wrong in Nigeria, if anything goes wrong in Nigeria, the whole of West Africa will be wiped out by refugees within the first couple of months. Yes, I'm saying it. And then if that happens, it will create a multiplier effect. So all the countries, for like instance, um, Republic of Benin, Republic of Togo, Ghana, Ivory Coast, Liberia, Sierra Leone will go down. And when all these countries go down, and now we are talking about Niger, Mali, and into Burkina Faso, when all these countries go down, that's one half of Africa is down. And then they will push down until they get to the Southern Africa, and the continent will sink. And this is what some people want. This is what some imperial powers driven by economics want to happen in Africa. But you and I, you Nigerians, you Africans, all lovers of Africa and the African people must rise up in defense of Nigeria to prevent it from a total collapse. We don't need another election. We had an election on February 25th, 2023. Yes. And the election was heading in the direction of the liberation of the Nigerian people. And suddenly, those who have held our country hostage since independence didn't want a change for the people of Nigeria. They truncated it. They compromised the Nigerian armed forces. They compromised the Nigerian judiciary. They destroyed the Nigerian constitution. They even traveled as far as to the United States to obstruct justice, to obstruct the release of the criminal history of the candidate. Yes, the man now holding the whole country hostage. He lived in this country for years. He lived in Indiana, Gary, Indiana. You know, if you are from the United States, you know the history of Gary, Indiana, and drugs. That town is whitewashed now. Yes, this man contributed immensely to what happened to Gary, Indiana, infested the place with drugs. He was arrested, prosecuted here, and paid ransom. He paid a restitution of over about 500,000 US dollars. Yes, and then he ran back to Nigeria, became a senator, and then became a governor. As a governor of Lagos State, he walloped the state's resources and pocketed everything. He owns more than half of the entire state. Now he carried his escapade to the center of Nigeria to become Nigeria's rogue president, first rogue president of Nigeria. So illegal and so illegitimate. That is what we are dealing right now. Now, the people of Nigeria are being overwhelmed by what? Mercenary. Terrorists have taken over our country. In my hometown right now is a no-go area. Yes, the town is cut off. People are now being kidnapped. They go to the farms, they kidnap them. Some parts of my hometown have not been able to go to their farms since October last year. There is food insecurity in that town, just as it is in the entire country. The country's economy has collapsed. The infrastructure have collapsed. Everything, the healthcare delivery system collapsed. Nigeria is on its belly. Nigeria is borrowing to pay salaries. These people apportion the entire treasury of Nigeria into their pocket, while the people of Nigeria live below poverty line. Yes, minimum wage is less than $15. Minimum wage is less than $15 a month. I am talking, who survives on $15 in a month anywhere on earth? Yes, that is what it is. A bag of rice in Nigeria right now is about more than $100. Now somebody earns $15. He has families. He has everything. He has to pay transportation to his place of work. The country is in a total mess. And in the midst of that, some of my compatriots who do not understand the magnitude of what they are dealing with are waiting for 2027, another election cycle, with the criminal in charge. You couldn't beat them when they were in the periphery. How are you going to defeat them when they are in charge of all the country's strategic institutions? This is what this broadcast is about, to wake the people of Nigeria up to take decisive action before it is too late. Our people are dying in droves. I am telling you, Nigerians are dying in droves. Here, if you have a friend who is from Nigeria, ask him or her the situation of Nigeria. Majority of us outside Nigeria are depressed. We are stressed out from demands from people at home for one type of help or the other. You cannot do it all. It's killing us. It's stressing us. We live our lives here. We live for the people at home. And it's not even enough. Their demands are genuine because they are hungry. Now Nigerians are doing desperate things for survival. Are you aware that people now have to kill in order to survive? People now sell body parts. People now sell organs for them to survive. A lot of criminality is going on in Nigeria. These are not normal times. And you see, all this don't never ever happen in real times. In normal times, you don't see all this. These are associated with abnormal economy, terrible economy. The economy of Nigeria is on ground zero. Yes, nothing is working. The simplest thing, even to get water to drink, is so hard in Nigeria. How are Nigerians going to be able to wait for another 4 years before they can vote and then vote in hell? We have been voting since 1999. None of our votes count. So why should we continue to vote into the air for nothing that will happen? Voting has not improved our lives. Our educational system is in shambles. People don't have the atmosphere to teach and learn. So everything in Nigeria is run down. Yes, they will say people like me are unpatriotic by telling the world what is taking place in Nigeria. Thank God they cannot hold us down. Thank God we are not inside Nigeria. Thank God we have the freedom to express ourselves truly about what is taking place in Nigeria. Everything we say is not something that we made up. Everything we say is exactly what is taking place in that country. Great country with massive potential. Great country with abundant mineral, natural, human, and all kinds of resources in that country. Yes, now Chinese are able to come into our country, go into the countryside and dig up, pollute our water unchecked. And the other ones are coming inside the country to mine minerals, and nobody is done that, holds them accountable because the country is corrupt. The situation in Nigeria is so dire. So that is why we are telling our people, you'll be voting. And you'll be voting, and you have not seen the benefit of what you are voting. They have corrupted our people to the extent that our people are so vulnerable and so weak to vote. A typical Nigerian will ask you, what am I going to get? They want you to pay them upfront before they can vote. So when you are paid to vote, you vote for criminals. And that is why criminals have taken over our country. The corruption in Nigeria has spread to the grassroots. And when you know what I mean, when corruption gets to the grassroots, it becomes difficult, most difficult to control. The country needs an urgent reset. And what Nigeria needs will not be done through any voting, any democratic thing. Democracy in Nigeria is a disaster. It has not helped. It is a failure. It's not doing anything for the people of Nigeria. It has become so expensive. You don't have money, you can't win an election. Even when you win an election, you work to recoup what you invested. So it's an investment. That is why the country is collapsing. Nothing. The hospitals are not working. The schools are not working. The roads are some of the worst on earth. Our people drive through gullies. Our people drive through gullies. You see a national trunk, a national highway. It's not motorable. Yes. And what does that do? Coupled with the insecurity in the land, the terrorists now stay in places where these roads are bad. When people pass through them, they kidnap them for ransom. They rape the women. They rob the men. They kill people in order to perform surgery on them and take their organs for sale. Who know where they are selling them? Yes, this is how bad the situation in Nigeria has gotten. Nigeria is in need of a lot of help. If you are a Nigerian listening to me right now, I don't care where you are on earth. It is time for you to wake up. It is time for you to plug in into a system through which we can confront the monsters that are holding our people in captivity. And to be part of what we are doing, we invite you to join us at Open Nigeria. And the first step you must take is to subscribe to our channel on YouTube or follow us on TikTok. Our YouTube channel is at Nigeria Now on ONN. At Nigeria Now on ONN. I have dedicated my life. I've dedicated everything that I have, every breath in me, to work for the liberation of Nigeria. I want people. We are not looking for money. We want genuine people who will be part of what we are doing. So we can build that critical mass of conscious people needed to make an exodus out of the hell Nigeria is right now. Please join us. We need your help. It doesn't matter where you are on the surface of the earth. Your voice is important. Our people at home have been so emasculated. They can't even open their mouth. Everybody is scared. They are being taunted by terrorists. They are taunted by the security forces. The army will go into villages and kill people, but the terrorists that they are supposed to be fighting, they are shy of fighting them. It looks like they connive with them to deal with the people. We have a dictator holding our country hostage. Nobody can say anything. They will deploy the DSS. So that is why there is no opposition from within Nigeria. Nobody is saying anything. Everybody has resigned to fate. They are dying in droves. People are dying en masse. We are not officially at a war in Nigeria, but Nigeria is really at a war with a smoking gun. We are not hearing the booms of gun yet. Yes, we are not hearing big gunfires yet, except from those from the terrorists and the army that has become a national militia, killing innocent and defenseless citizens. What if, when the war starts, what is good? The human catastrophe in Nigeria right now is unspeakable. Yes, and the international media will not see that. You see leaders from Imperial West coming to tell this evil leadership in Nigeria that they are doing good. And you know what it is. When they start praising you, you know that there is something wrong with you. You know that they are benefiting more than they should. You know that something is not right. You know that your economy is about to collapse. You know that everything is falling apart. When they praise you, they come and praise this evil. Nothing is happening. Is this democracy in Nigeria? Take from the legislature. Legislature is a rubber stamp of criminals. The executive is directing the criminality. The judiciary adjudicates in their favor. Nothing. If you are a common man, you are in trouble. You go to the court. Oh, to hell. You are not going to get justice. The police is harassing the people on the streets, extorting money from them. You go to the police station or you take a matter, you get the police involved in any situation, they will ask you for money before they move to effect an arrest. They will ask you for money before they investigate a case. They will ask you for money. And even will put you in jail, put you in their cell in order to extort money from you. So we are being kidnapped from left, right, and center. This is not what Nigeria should be. This is not what a democracy should be. This is not what Joe Biden is supporting in Nigeria. This is not. It is sad that we have this type of thing. Those who love Nigeria, you love Nigeria, they don't listen to the voice of dissent. They don't listen to the opposition. They just go there. I don't know what it is with them. It's economic interest. They hear from these criminals and they come back and write good report, give them a rave report about the health of a democracy that is dead. We don't have a democracy in Nigeria. Judiciary does not work. Executive does not work. The legislature does not work. The people are rudderless. The people are dying. Nigeria is a concrete jungle. Nigeria is a concrete jungle. Nigeria is a total jungle. The worst hell in Africa as we speak. A country that is so endowed with everything. Oil theft is taking place in the Niger Delta where I come from. And you know what? The Nigerian military is involved. Yes, they will arrest people and then you never hear anything beyond the arrest announcement. And that's it. No prosecution. Nobody, nothing happens and then business resumes as usual. So what we are having in Nigeria is a junk of joke. And if we, the people of Nigeria, cannot rise up and do anything now, it will be mass death. And what is happening right now, we are talking about people dying. They are dying of hunger. What is coming? What is coming will be too much to imagine. Yes, this is the state of Nigeria. So we need action. We need to mobilize. Nigerians have gotten to that point where they can't even protest. When Nigerians go to protest, you see soldiers deployed, armed fully to shoot them. You see the police deployed fully to shoot them. You see the DSS everywhere, ready to shoot them. And this has demoralized them to be able to come out. Nigerians cannot assemble. They don't understand that anymore that their basic human rights means anything. They don't agree anymore that their rights to the citizenship of Nigeria means anything. Nothing means. Everybody is waiting until the hour of death to come. The situation has gotten worse right now. The reports that I received from home this morning has made me cry all day. I have to do this. I have to do this to wake my people up. I have to do this to wake Nigeria up. I have to do this to wake the people of Africa up. Yes, Nigeria is now standing in the way of the vision of our founding fathers about the unification of Africa, because we have a criminal puppet holding the country down for his imperial masters, who never want Africa to come together, because they know that if Africa comes together, Africa will be unbeatable. They know that if Africa is united, there will be no more Europe. They know that if Africa is united, the Arab world will be in trouble. They know that if Africa is united with its own central economy, with its own reserve bank, with its ability to control its resources, with one military, Africa will be a place that nobody will be able to dare. Now, we are in this. They make our countries weak. They make our institutions weak in order to continue to repress the people of Africa. Have you seen any continent on earth where the people do not have right to the ownership of their resources? Where people can come from anywhere and do whatever they like? Where people can come and establish military bases unchallenged? Who are they defending? Whose interests are they defending? Definitely not the interest of Africans. The proper puppets arm them against their people. And they come and tell us about democracy. They tell us about human rights that they close their eyes to when they are being abused in Africa. Why are we in this? Who will set Africa free? South Africa had an opportunity last week to do something. Now they voted for chaos. Who knows what that is going to lead to for the people of Africa? In Kenya, the story is not different. They have a central puppet in Kenya holding the east of Africa down for them. Africa is in a mess. In Nigeria, we that is supposed to be the engine room. We are contending with a drug dealer, a certificate forger, and an identity thief paired with a terrorist. And with a terrorist as the country's minister of defense. How on earth is this happening to Nigeria? Have you ever heard this happen in any place on earth where a drug dealer is president, where a vice president is a terrorist, where the minister of defense is a bandit? Only in Nigeria. What has happened to Nigeria? Where are the Nigerian elites? Where are the likes of Wale Soyinka, that is not speaking the truth anymore because he has gotten his hands dipped in corruption? Where is he? He has been a serious critic of every government in power in Nigeria. But now he's quiet. Is he involved with the drug dealing? We are now beginning to know a lot of things about him and what he represents. Where are the Femi Falanos? Where are the Bode George? Bode George went to the seat of power yesterday. The man who has been holding critical views, extreme critical views about these criminals holding Nigeria captive. He went there yesterday. He came back because I'm sure his hands have been oiled. He's now making a case. He's making a case for a terrorist. He's making a case for a drug dealer. He's making a case for a certificate forger. He's making a case for an identity thief, for Nigerians to give him a chance. Chance why fellow Nigerians are dying. The Nigerian elites are so inhumane. They are so wicked. They are so greedy. They are so selfish. They are so disgusting. Yeah, that is what they are. Corruption, elite of Nigeria, morally bankrupt and treasonously corrupt. How are we going to get out of this? The young ones are in disarray. The young Nigerian is in disarray. The young Nigerian doesn't seem to understand what is happening. The best they can do is want to leave the country in drove, leave their country for terrorists to come and take over. Those who are inside, they keep praying that God comes down to do their work for them. How will God come down? Yeah, every time he's fasting and praying for them. Nigeria can never be liberated by fasting and praying. And you know what? Religion has been bastardized in Nigeria. Religion without spirituality cannot lead you anywhere. The religious industry is pure business for Nigerians, those who are operating it. The general overseers are exploiting the people, robbing the poor to build mansions, build schools, build cities, that those people whose money was used to build those edifices cannot afford. They build massive churches instead of building industries. And they lie to the people in the name of Jesus. They lie to the people in the name of Allah. They lie to the people. They give them false prophecy. And then the people are confused. This is what we are suffering. Yes, and this points to one thing. Poverty in Nigeria stinks. More than 99% of Nigerians are poor right now. The economy of Nigeria is wiped out. The lifespan of Nigerian is less than 40 years now. Those are dangerous indices for measuring how bad things have gotten in Nigeria. Yes, you will come and see a pastor who will come and tell you that giving tithe of 10%, that his wife gave 10% of their earning. Yes, and that the bag of rice that she bought, yes, that the bag of rice they bought got exhausted. Yes. Wow. So that is what is taking place in Nigeria. It's so sad. It's so sad. The only way out is for the people of Nigeria to unite. The only way out is for the people of Nigeria to come together. The only way out is for the people of Nigeria to set aside religion, because that's what they use to divide them. They tell them, you are Northerners. They tell them, you are Southerners. They tell them, you are Muslims. They tell them, you are Christians. And once a Christian or a Muslim is the front of what of leadership in Nigeria, once a Muslim or Christian is the symbol of leadership, regardless of how bad, regardless of how evil, regardless of how incompetent, regardless of how inept he or she is, they will line behind him along religious line. They don't think, Nigerians don't think abilities. They don't think competency. They don't think courage. They don't think about excellence. They don't think about exceptional content of character required to build, utilize, expand, extend, and sustain capacity beyond self for the good of the whole of the country. Yeah, that is what we have lost it. Nigerians are majorly very, very corrupt. If corruption in Nigeria has gotten to the grassroots, and that is why it's most difficult for good people to emerge and be leaders in Nigeria. The only way we can do this is for us to come together. All of the sufferers, we the sufferers, must come together to decide our destiny. Nobody can do it for us but ourselves. We must do it now and not tomorrow. We must not push this to the next generation who have no business with creating this situation. We must not make their lives hard. We must not make their lives precarious. We must present a platform for them to thrive and for them to deal with peculiarities associated with their generation. This is what we must do. Where are you, Nigerian, who is as aggrieved? Where are you, Nigerians, who feel robbed? Where are you, Nigerians, who have been actually robbed? Where are you, Nigerians, who are daily being denied access to opportunities? After you graduate from high school, you graduate from the university, you have no job. As we speak, over 53 million Nigerian young people have no job. And much more than that are unemployed, are jobless and unemployable. Yes. What can we do? What can we do? Yes. Nigeria needs Pan-African civil societies to challenge the neocolonial imperial system first on Nigeria. If EU and America will fund civil society to protect its interests, Nigerians should create theirs. Actually, yes, I agree with you. Yeah, you raised a very important issue here. You know, the civil society in Nigeria is so weak. And the drivers, again, have been infected, for the most part of it, by corruption. And whenever they want to take any action, they go and be dealing with the politicians. And the corrupt politicians have them in their pockets. They give them little change, they make a noise for a few days, and it is over. So that's why we are looking for that organic, those people who are die-hard patriots, who want to do whatever it will take to set Nigeria free. Those who are willing to make all the type of sacrifices that is required to set Nigeria free. We are looking for them. There are not many yet that we have found, because a lot of them get themselves entangled with partisan politics and the money associated with it. Yeah, that is it. So we don't have that type of civil society that drive change, that have been able to drive change in other countries. We are looking for, that is why we are operating now on the platform of Open Nigeria. Open Nigeria is non-political, but we can exert political influence. We want people who can think outside the box. We want people who love the country first before any other thing. We want people who can set their tribes aside, who can set religion aside, who can set partisan political affiliation aside, who understand that what we are doing is about country and not about us, and not about any political party, not about any tribe, but about Nigeria and its people. We don't have that yet. We don't have many people in it yet. But this is the work we are doing. Thank you very much for raising that point. Yes, it's so sad. Prayers and fasting will not liberate Nigeria. It's only by revolution. Yes, the big elephant in the room is religion. Black Nigerian Muslim, not in Mecca, worship God and take billions. You got it, my brother. You are right. You know, how will a country who cannot pay minimum wage of 60,000 naira, they funded Hajj. Yes, they funded Hajj. They funded Hajj to Saudi Arabia. How dumb our people are, how dumb our leaders are, how dumb. sorry, Africans are when they are in positions of leadership. 91 billion naira, yes, was used to subvent this year's Hajj. What is supposed to be a private business? What is the business of government? Funding pilgrimage to Mecca or to Israel. It's not supposed to be the business of the Nigerian government. But you know what? Some governors in the north use it as manifesto, campaign manifesto, during electionary campaign, that they will ferry so many people to Saudi Arabia. Saudi Arabia has effectively created an atmosphere, yes, to boost its economy through pilgrimage. Oh, how many people are coming to Africa on pilgrimage? Tell me, how many people come to Africa on pilgrimage? But Africans are trooping to Jerusalem. They are trooping to Saudi Mecca in Saudi Arabia. And every time they go there, that's why the Saudi Arabian economy can never go down. There's always something going on there. Africans can't think. They are not thinking. And they go there, thieves. Majority of those who go there are thieves, those who are stealing from Nigeria to go and boost the Arabic economy, to go and boost the economy of Israel. Why our economy is crying and struggling, regardless of all the resources that we have. And someone is telling me that I should wait for 2027 so that we can vote. And vote for who? How is that vote going to count? 2023 vote did not count. Regardless of how much the people came behind the symbol that they thought was going to be their liberator, the vote did not count. All kinds of ugly things was happening, and indeed happened for the whole world to see. And there were international monitors, including those from the EU and the United Nations. They saw what happened. At the expense of Nigeria, they came. Nigeria paid their hotel bills. Nigeria fed them. Nigeria paid their airfare. They came, saw the absurdity in Nigeria. And then we write a feeble report that nobody takes seriously. So what's the reason for their coming? Why are they always rushing to Africa? Everybody wants to fix Africa. Everybody wants to help Africans. Africans are this needy. Yes. People who steal from us to build their own economies. We come and want to teach us democracy. And still, we have not been able to learn because I guess they don't want to teach us the right thing. But there are some of us who know what is taking place, how their democracy runs. And you know what? When some of us stand up to go and run for office in Nigeria, these same imperial masters will stop us because they know we can ask them the right questions. They love dumb asses. They love drug dealers. They love criminals that they can hush. They don't like people like me who will ask questions, who will stand up to them, who will look them in the face and tell them how it is. And this is why the African continent has been retarded. So we need a new sense of direction. And that is the reason why this young man in Burkina Faso is doing so well. But he needs more support. He needs more leaders. He needs more liberated countries. Because after a while, they will wear him out and overthrow him. Since the past 1 year, this young man has faced over 10 overthrow attempts by the imperial forces led by France. Yes. So we need more Africans We need more liberated leaders from Africa to take charge of the destiny of Africa. Africa has no reason to play host to so many military bases, foreign military bases. What are they doing but than worsening our condition? Why are we these people who cannot solve our own problems? Why are we these people who cannot look at ourselves in the face and say, no, we can do this by ourselves? Why is it that they can solve their own problem and we cannot solve it? Why is it that they are lining behind, supplying arms and ammunition to warring parties in Africa to continue to sustain the hell that they have turned the continent into, for them to be able to continue to loot and pillage our resources for less than the real value? Africa is the African continent where people, leaders, countries sell only raw materials. They cannot produce anything. And they will come and laugh at us that our economy is not growing. We are not doing that. They have set up their financial institutions to come and destroy our economies. We are damn stupid. Yes, this is the reason. If you are in Nigeria now looking at me, since the past 10 years, 15 years, we have been preaching this same message to you. Your condition is getting worse because of the wrong choices you make. They tell you, look at the person who is going to do this job. You will say, no, pay me money. You can do whatever you like. Pay me money now. It's what I see now. That's what I see. I think you guys collected money. Now, hell, everywhere in your country. Yes, you are being beaten by Boko Haram. You are being beaten by bandits. They are all over the country, not just there. The country has nearly effectively been taken over, by mercenaries. Yes, we don't have an army in Nigeria. We don't have no police, nothing. The army even works for them, and then the army is poorly trained. Yeah, and the Buhari, the immediate past terrorist government, president, infested the country with Boko Haram terrorists. The United States knows this. Europe knows this. France was part of it. Yes. But they will keep quiet because it is Africa. Africa should perish for them to come and latch on it and take all of its resources. That is what this whole thing is. Africa needs a revolution. It must start in Nigeria. That is why they don't want it to happen in Nigeria. That is why they don't want the right type of people to lead Nigeria. If the right type of people lead Nigeria, they know where things will be heading. We need problem solvers. And it's going to start from us on the sideline. Because if you hold this type of view that I hold, they will not allow you in the door. You saw that's exactly what happened to Julius Malema in South Africa in this election of the past few days. He had the best message. He had the best vision. He had everything. But the people, a lot of money was poured into to stop him. Yes, we cannot continue like this. Democracy in Nigeria especially is not working. Votes don't count in Nigeria. Institutional rigging takes place. It takes place. The army is involved. Useless army right now. The Nigerian army is no longer the army. The army chiefs of staff or the whatever service chiefs, they make more political statements than the true politicians. Yes, all their commanders are corrupt. So they pass this money down to them to suppress the views of the other officers. We should have some Sankara in the Nigerian army, but we don't have them. Yes. So the army in Nigeria is as disorganized as the general population in Nigeria. So they are just managing it so that nothing will happen. It's so sad. Beautiful country. An edifice of a country. Endowed with just everything. Nigeria should be a heaven. But bad leadership. Mostly imposed on the people. Yes, the people have to rebel. But the people are weak. The people are so weak and hungry. They are weak, hungry, and vulnerable. They are listless. That is how how much they have battered the people of Nigeria. How are we going to get them to wake up? That is the essence of this message. We are in trouble as a country. If we don't do anything now, by a collective action decisive enough to exert the type of force that will break the yoke and break the shackles over Nigerians, we will be in a serious trouble. And not just only Nigeria, the rest of Africa will be in trouble. Africa looks up to Nigeria for leadership, but Nigeria has failed Africa so woefully. Nigeria has failed Africa so woefully. This is not what we thought Nigeria was going to be. This is not what our founding fathers expected of Nigeria. This is not what should be taking place right now. But there has to be a way out of this. And it's going to take the concerted effort of the people of Nigeria, who must set aside all types of differences with which they had been held captive in the past, to say enough is enough. And for them to wake up, get up, and stand up. Stand up for their rights. Stand up for their right to life, their right to choice, their right to freedom of expression, their right to freedom of association, their right to worship, and their right to self-determination. All these rights, as it stands right now, have been taken away from Nigerians. The Nigerians are so scared. This is not the Nigerian I'm seeing right now. It's not the Nigeria of my own generation. It's not the Nigeria that I grew up in. We were never afraid. We confronted the army in 1993, and we defeated them. First, Babangida out. Abacha came in. We did not allow him rest until he died. And then they came and brought Obasanjo. We thought that was going to be a good thing, but it proved to be another dictator, but a little manageable. And then after him came Yaradua. Yaradua was a good man, but sick, end-stage renal disease. He died 2 years after. Then came Jonathan Goodluck. Oh no, the weakest, spineless, drunk, who opened the treasury, yet for his goons of PDP thieves, and they walloped the treasury. And then he single-handedly gave power to Buhari, a terrorist. Yes, a terrorist. That all these people now who want to give us democracy, these people who tell us about human rights, these people who tell us about good governance, yes, they knew him, that he had linked to Boko Haram. They allowed him. He worked with the Bazoum and France to make things worse, because they wanted the economy of the Chad Basin. Yeah, that is why Boko Haram has become a huge business that will never go away. The army, the armed forces is involved. The money is there. And the northern leaders, whatever they call themselves, are all involved in the act of terrorism in Nigeria. Yes, that was why when Buhari was leaving, they clamored for a Muslim ticket in a supposed secular state. Yes, that's how they got our country into the hell in which it is now. They forced the people. And the other people are bulldogs, the ones who call themselves Christians. You are a Christian. Then they are telling you that the Bible says, Jesus said, if they slap you in this eye, you give them the other one. All the noise they made came to a naught. These idiots, a set of fools, imposed their idea of what they wanted, Muslim ticket, not instead of a Nigerian ticket, not because I care about Muslim or I care about the religion. What I wanted to see was a Nigerian ticket, regardless of your religion. What should drive you as a leader of a country is nothing but patriotism. But they go there to advance a cause for religion. And that is why we are stuck right now. And since then, Boko Haram was let loose. Now they spread inside the country, and they are calling them bandits. These are terrorists with AK-47, fully armed with the RPGs. They rape, they maim, they steal, they occupy farms. Nigerian farmers are not able to farm. 2025 is going to be very deadly for Nigeria because there will be no food. And as bad as the situation was, you can imagine a Ukraine in a war. A Ukraine in a war. This idiot was begging Ukraine for grains. Ukraine gave Nigeria grain. I don't know who he gave it to. They gave it to. They say they gave grains to Nigeria. A Ukraine at war. Nigeria is not at war. It's begging food already. So what do you think about what 2025 holds for Nigeria with farmers not able to access their farm? I'm talking about farmers nationwide. They are not able to access their farm because the terrorists have occupied all the farmlands and forests across Nigeria, waiting for that minute, for them to unleash their mayhem. God help Nigeria. If Nigeria is going to be available in 2025, 2026. So instead of the people of Nigeria coming together to come and say, it's time, let us battle this evil, they are telling me about 2027. I disagree with them. We don't need 2027. We don't need an election. We need a revolution. We don't need an election. We need a revolution. We don't need another election. We need a revolution. That's the only way. If we don't purge Nigeria of these criminals, Nigeria will crash. Nigeria will collapse. Nigeria will end. And my fear is that Nigeria should not end violently, because Somalia will be a child's play. Yugoslavia will be a child's play. That is why we are asking Nigerians, those who truly love the country, let us come together. Let us organize for a concerted liberation of the country. We build a country where no man shall be oppressed. How can you see a criminal who came to power through the back doors came and disrespected the whole of Nigeria, change the country's national anthem, something that is so sacrosanct, something that is so spiritual? He changed it with his criminal gangs in the National Assembly without consulting the people of Nigeria. Yes. Is that not enough for the people of Nigeria to rise up and chase him out? No, as usual, my people are now learning to recite that nonsense that they call national anthem. Yes. How is that a priority? Now, how has it changed the exchange rate between the naira and dollar? The naira exchange rate now between the naira and dollar stands at 1,500. Scandalous exchange rate. Yes. Food prices are out of control. Yes. People are not able to power their businesses because of the high cost of buying fuel. People are not able to afford 2 decent meals in a day. I am broke every week that I get paid from supporting Nigerians who will call me 24 hours for one thing or the other. And then once you pick up that call and you hear those sad stories, you have to do something. A lot of time we get broke. I've seen being broke. It's normal with me now. Helping people who have finished school and are supposed to be working, but the terrible leadership in their country denies them access to opportunity to express themselves and be what they should be as citizens of Nigeria. And that is why now I want to call on Joe Biden. If you so love Nigeria, if you so love Nigeria, if you so truly love Nigeria, if you love Nigeria, Because you are not talking to the people of Nigeria. You are talking to the criminals in Nigeria. That is why a lot of us are angry. And that is why you will see Nigerians will take so much anger to the polls on November 5th when they vote in the 2024 US presidential election. If you so love Nigeria, I challenge you, not because I want it to happen, do something about Nigeria now. Since you said that you are a beacon of hope, you are the master of democracy. I'm reporting to you officially now. It's not anything that you don't know. You have access to Bola Tinubu's criminal record because he lives in the United States. The FBI works under you. We demanded for that. It was blocked here. The FBI refused to release his criminal record. Yes, even after the court said they should. You sat on it. All right. I want you to invade Nigeria without asking for anything in return as usual. Yes, invade Nigeria. Support the opposition. If you so love Nigeria, as you claim, if Nigeria is so strategic to the United States, Nigeria is in trouble. Majority of our people are suffering. Majority of our people cannot afford one ration in a day. People are dying in droves. The hospitals are not working. The strategic institutions are all dying. Nothing is working. Corruption has taken over the country. If you so love Nigeria, invade Nigeria on behalf of the Nigerian people. Yes, invade Nigeria on behalf of Nigerian people. And don't ask for anything in return from Nigerians. If you are truly a liberator, if you really, truly love Nigeria, do that for the people of Nigeria. And we will forever celebrate you and your administration. But I know you cannot do it. I don't want you to even do it because you are not going to do it without expecting anything. So stop supporting this drug dealer in Nigeria. I want the United States, because you are not representing the interest of the United States with the actions you have taken in Nigeria so far. It is you and your personal interest, not the strategic interest of the United States. That is why I'm isolating the country from it. I'm talking to you directly, Joe Biden. If you so love Nigeria, invade Nigeria on behalf of millions of poor Nigerians so the country can be liberated and we drive all the terrorists. If you are truly sincere about fighting terrorism, we want to see you in action. Put American boots on the ground to stamp out the terrorists and terrorism in Nigeria without asking for anything by any chance. Don't ask for resources of Nigeria because we are not willing to give it, trade it. Do this. If you want global peace, I challenge you, Joe Biden, invade Nigeria because it's long overdue. The country's people are suffering. Children are dying. Women are dying. And then you don't listen to those people. Your agents, when they go to Nigeria, they never listen to the poor people on the streets. They end up in big hotels in Abuja. They treat them like kings and queens. And they come back and give them good reports here in the United States. And then you come back, because I saw what you were doing with Ruto when he came here. But the situation on the floor, on the ground in Kenya is different from what you were celebrating here. This is the problem most of us have with people like you. If you so love Nigeria, I challenge you, invade Nigeria like the United States invaded Iraq. Invade Nigeria, don't destroy anything. Just remove the bad people, help us finish off the terrorists. And we will be so happy. We'll be so celebratory of you. And we will elect you over and over again. Maybe you should do this for us before you leave. But you can't do it. You won't do it. It is only the people of Nigeria that will do it. And that is why I think your withdrawal of support to some extent will help us. And then you speaking out or listening to the opposition in Nigeria will do the United States a world of good than listening to the criminals, the drug dealer that you already know, the terrorists that he's paired with, that is already, that you know. The CIA knows about these criminals. So why are we dealing with this double standard? So anyway, the people of Nigeria, the onus is yours. To finish this job is our responsibility. And the next generation will not forgive us if we cannot stand up for them before they are born. If we cannot stand up and break the chains and shackles of Nigeria. If we cannot stand up for the children today, if we cannot stand up for the women today, if we cannot stand up for those who have served Nigeria, the elderly who have served, but now are not able to get their pensions. If you are one who is scared, who is afraid, who is concerned about the plan for them to dip their hands into the pensions fund, to fund what they call critical projects in Nigeria, I invite you to come. Let us rise together and confront this evil in Nigeria and put an end to it. So generations unborn will celebrate us as true patriots and soldiers who fought for them before they were born. This is what this message is about. Are we ready? Can we do this? Can we see those patriots step forward? Can we see those sacrificial patriots of Nigeria step forward? I know they are in Nigeria. We have a lot of them. Can we, for once, summon the courage to step up and do what we must do for the liberation of our country? Where are you? In the east, west, north, and south. Where are you? Why can't we come together to get this done? Why can't we, for once, set our religions aside? Why can't we set our tribes aside? Why can't we set our regions aside and recognize that we are supposed to be from one country, inextricably tied to one destiny? That is what this message is. We want you. Let us stand together, because I believe that if we build that critical mass of critically conscious people, the Satans holding Nigeria hostage, we have no choice but to leave. Where is the power of the people? Where is the power of the people? This democracy is not working. Not right now. We can make it work after we come together and purge our country of the darkness that has enveloped everywhere. Until we break the chains and the shackles with which our people are being held down. Until we remove the veils on the eyes of our people that makes it impossible for them to see clearly about the direction their country is going. Where are you? Are you willing to step up? Because I'm willing. There are others who are willing. But we are not where we should be yet. We need that critical mass. Why can't you be part of it? Let's do it. Other countries have done it in their histories. Why can't we put our own country in the chart or on the chart? Come on, let's do it. It is possible. If we agree, if we are determined, united by a purpose, and be ready to take responsibility for outcomes, we can make this happen. God bless you, and God bless Nigeria. Special thanks to all those who tuned into this program today from across the world. Please do us a favor by sharing this broadcast And if you have not subscribed to our channel, please do so. And the channel is at Nigeria Now, at ONN on YouTube. We are also, as we speak, on radio, Nightingale Radio International. Yes, here. And on a lot of platforms. So wherever you see our message, please like, share, and subscribe. Thank you very much for listening. Much love from me to you. Bye-bye.